Hey, all Scott here. If you're like me, you need coffee. Lots of it. And you probably prefer it tastes good, too. Well, let me tell you about Darren's Coffee Company at darrenscoffee.com. Darren Marion is a natural entrepreneur who decided to leave his corporate job and strike out on his own, making great coffee. And Darren's Coffee is now delivering right to your door. Darren gets his beans direct from farmers around the world. All specialty, premium grade with no filler. Hey, the man just wants everyone to have a chance to taste this great coffee. darrenscoffee.com. Use promo code Scott and you get free shipping. darrenscoffee.com. All right, y'all, welcome back to the show. I'm Scott Horton. It's my show, The Scott Horton Show. Our first guest today is Ghada Morad. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Well, I appreciate you joining us on the show. Everybody, I saw this clip. A friend on Twitter sent me this story this morning. It's at photographyisnotacrime.com. NBC caught altering interview with witness to fit police narrative in Long Beach police slaying of student. That student being your brother, Feras. Am I saying his name right?
It's Feras.
Feras, okay. Could you please, first of all, just tell us about your brother?
Well, he was 20 years old. He got accepted to Berkeley and UCLA. He decided to go to Long Beach because he wanted to save money for law school. He was brilliant. He was a speech and debate coach at El Camino Real High School, and he was a national ranked debater. He had a 3.9 GPA. He actually wanted to be the president of the United States when he grew up. I honestly think he could do it. He could have. He was a genius. He was really smart, and I can't believe this actually happened to him.
Well, I'm so sorry that it did. It's just absolutely terrible. Can you take us through the story, explain how it is that he even got in front of a cop's gun in the first place?
Well, on May 27th, he went to practice. He went to practice for a speech and debate tournament with his friends, and he decided to have fun, and he got the wrong idea of fun, so he took shrooms with his friends for the first time. He's never done drugs in his life, and it's not like it's like a abnormal thing. A lot of like teenagers and like a lot of people have just tried it before, and he didn't. I know he didn't expect anything like this to happen. He got really confused and dizzy, and he started acting really like confused and weird. And he was with two of his friends, and they were trying to stop him from moving around. So he had jumped out of a two-story building. He jumped out of a two-story window, and his friend called an ambulance, and he just was really confused, and he was walking around just dizzy, and the police officer thought my brother was a threat, and he shot him 3 times, and I also heard 4 times. They didn't try to cuff him or anything. They didn't try anything. They just went for the gun, and that's how he ended up in front of a police officer's gun. He didn't even really. One second, my mom's calling me. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. So his friends called for help. They called an ambulance for help, and instead the cops showed up with a gun. And now it says here, again, it's photographyisnotacrime.com. They had this story, and this is just a side note, compared to what, the real consequences of what happened here, but of them editing the witness statement here. Yeah, no problem. I'm filling time talking to the audience here about the way they edited the witness statement here.
There's a lot of lies on the internet. My brother wasn't acting violent at all. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He was really everyone around him. There was witnesses that said my brother wasn't acting violent at all. He didn't. He in general, even if he was on every drug in the world, which he wasn't, he wouldn't hurt anyone. He doesn't have that kind of mindset. Nothing can go into his mind to like get any anger out. Even when he looks angry, he doesn't look like, even when he like, you know, when you put your eyebrows together and you look mad, he doesn't look mad. He just looks like, I don't know, confused. His face is too kind to look angry. He would never like be able to, he can't scare anyone. He wasn't like strong enough to hurt anyone. He doesn't look like he's strong enough to hurt anyone anyway.
Yeah.
He was unarmed. He didn't have anything with him. And his friends kept yelling at the police officers that he was unarmed.
Well, yeah, and it says here that he was not wearing a shirt and was unarmed.
And he was bleeding from head to toe from the fall from the window. And I'm sure he had like trauma, like his brain. He was bleeding like inside his head. He fell from a 2-story window. He doesn't look like he can hurt anyone. Well,
and you know, the way the witness, the edited statement, again, we talked about this a little bit in the earlier segment, where a guy was coming around the corner and saw the local news recording an interview with the witness, and he decided he wanted to compare and contrast the whole interview with the edited version on TV that night. And sure enough, they went and edited his statement and cut it to somebody else's statement, trying to make it sound like, putting the word, it was very aggressive in this one guy's mouth, when he was actually describing an entirely different thing. And he actually mimics, Feras and puts his hands straight up in the air. I mean, not just kind of up, bent at the elbows, but straight up. And kind of mimics him slowly shuffling forward. And then he emphasizes the amount of blood. It almost sounds like the cop just shot him because he didn't want to have to touch him because he was so bloody from the fall, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just my supposition, but it seemed like, obviously there's no threat. If he's got no shirt on, then it's plain to see he's got no gun in his waistband or anything like that. He's got no machete in his hands like they're claiming this morning. Another killing.
He has no muscles or anything, actually. He doesn't look like he can even hurt. Barely looks like he can pick up a box full of, like, books. He looks like, I mean, I'm not saying he looks weak. He just doesn't look like he can fight anyone and hurt anyone.
Well, the thing is, too, that, you know what, even if he, and I understand what you're saying about his appearance, but even if he was having the worst mushroom trip in the world and had hit his head so hard that he was just completely in a daze and flipping out and maybe even attempting to take a swing at the cop, or maybe it could have possibly looked like he was going to or something. If we give them that much, you still don't get to kill him for that. A cop ought to be able to win a fist fight.
Yeah, exactly.
But he didn't even try.
Yeah.
All right, now, so what are the other cops saying? Are they, pretending to take this seriously and giving him 2 weeks paid vacation here?
They just, you know what? The police officers, the hospital, the coroner's office didn't call my family when my brother died. He died on Wednesday, and I found out on Friday through a Facebook message and a call.
They didn't call your mother or anything?
They didn't call anyone. I found out because my brother wasn't answering the phone. He was supposed to eat dinner with us the day before, and he wasn't answering, and we got worried. So I contacted his friend, and I called his friend, and his friend told me that my brother was dead. They still haven't called us. They never said anything. And they told his friends that they were going to contact us, and they never contacted us that my brother was dead. He's been dead since Wednesday, and I've been at school having fun, and I didn't know that whole time my brother was dead.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry that this happened. That is just absolutely terrible, God. I'm so sorry. Listen, so are you guys, do you have a lawyer? Are you trying to press charges and file complaints and do everything you can?
We have a lawyer. We're going to press charges for sure. We want to put a stop to police brutality. It's been happening too much. There's been 4 police shootings. They killed 4 people in Long Beach, the police, in these past I think 4 or 6 months. I'm not sure, but they last month on April 23rd there was a 19-year-old boy who was shot for vandalism. Yeah, well, it's between 2 and 3 a day. I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard his mom was watching. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
There's this will be no consolation to you at all or anything, but there's a guy in Wisconsin who the cops killed his son in his front yard for no good reason other than they had a chance to, I guess. And what he did was he got a law passed, and it's not a cure-all or anything like that, but what it does is it mandates that some official from another jurisdiction has to be included in the investigation. And I think that's probably about halfway to what we should really be trying to push for would be, and call it Feras' law, Feras' law. I'm sorry, I'm saying his name wrong. Feras' law, that it has to be a prosecutor from another jurisdiction within the state who does these reviews, and that the prosecutors who rely on the cops that they're investigating are no longer allowed ever to look into these. It has to be somebody else within the state. It won't change the whole world overnight or anything like that, but what's happening now is they know that there's no accountability. So they're all just looking for a chance to escalate a situation, for a chance to kill somebody, because it's fun if you're a killer to kill people. And so they have to have a counter incentive, which is they could go to prison for the rest of their life. Right now, they are not in fear of that because there's no chance of it. And so, I try to bring that up as much as I can because I imagine you're going to be involved in this kind of activism now for a long, long time because of what they've done to your family here. And it just seems like, try to encourage people to keep the eye on the ball here about, what could possibly actually make a change other than just demanding that they be nicer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm more yelling at you than interviewing you here. But I don't know what to ask anymore other than to just please understand that there are a lot of people out here that are with you. Feel very bad for you for what happened here, and if you do end up kind of working on this in the future, not just this case or even any further developments in this case or any further activism that you do along these lines, I do hope that you'll keep in contact with me, and for that matter, I really hope you do get involved in, the Free Thought Project, Photography is Not a Crime, Cop Block, and all those great groups that are doing so much great work on these issues, because, that's the only way to make a change here. Mm-hmm. All right, well, I'm sorry for lecturing you so much. I really appreciate you coming on the show, Ghada, and I'm very sorry about what's happened here again.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Okay, guys, that's Ghada Morad. Her brother, Feras, was murdered by the cops last week. You hate government? One of them libertarian types? Or maybe you just can't stand the president, gun grabbers, or warmongers. Me too. That's why I invented LibertyStickers.com. Well, Rick owns it now, and I didn't make up all of them, but still, if you're driving around and want to tell everyone else how wrong their politics are, there's only one place to go. LibertyStickers.com has got your bumper covered. Left, right, libertarian, empire, police, state, founders quotes, central banking. Yes, bumper stickers about central banking. Lots of them. And, well, everything that matters. LibertyStickers.com. Everyone else's stickers suck.
Don't you get sick of the Israel lobby trying to get us into more wars in the Middle East? Or always abusing Palestinians with your tax dollars? It once seemed like the lobby would always have full-spectrum dominance on the foreign policy discussion in D.C. But those days are over. The Council for the National Interest is the America lobby, standing up and pushing back against the Israel lobby's undue influence on Capitol Hill. Go show some support at councilforthenationalinterest.org. That's councilforthenationalinterest.org.